Hello everybody and welcome back to today's video. As always, I will be sharing something that has been on my mind and that I've been working on or tweaking in my own life. Today's video is going to be focused on preparing your life and your home for an upcoming busy week. Now, the irony of today's video and the humble reality is that I did all of these things I'm about to share in this video before this week started, and I was still rushing for work today. So there is always much room for improvement. And remember, the goal is to set yourself up for success however that looks for you, but we will keep on learning and growing. Perfection is not perfect. I always like to say that. So let's dive in. The first thing that I like to do is making sure that my daughter's backpack is set up for the week. So she goes to this little preschool prep program 2 days a week when I have my long work days, and I like to pack her snacks and her water bottle, put them by the door. I like to make sure that her snow gear is all situated and packed, her little stuffed animal doggy that she uses as a pillow and her blankie for nap time. All of that stuff is ready and it's by the door, and it's one last thing that I have to like scramble for and grab in the morning when, it's morning. There's nothing else I need to say about that. The next thing is probably my favorite, but is also the most expensive, I won't lie. It is all things food and meals. I like cooking, but when I don't like cooking is when I have no prep work done and I wait until a tired day after work to think about what I want to do for dinner. Personally, that is a very great way to not enjoy cooking, and it's something that we need to do every day. We gotta eat, and so I've tried to work hard at building a healthy relationship with this. So the first thing I do is I think about what meals do I want to make this next week. I have this little menu that I use on my fridge. I inevitably change something on it, but I do like to have a plan and write down some ideas so that way when I have no brain cells to think about what I want to make on a night, I can fall back on these things. I already know that I have these ingredients, and I only write down meals that take like 40 minutes or less to make. And I will wipe off last week's meals, and then I will spend time on Pinterest or YouTube. I love YouTubing Instapot recipes. That's like my go-to right now. And then I make a grocery list. So I like to clean out my fridge before I go grocery shopping. I like to do, because then I don't have to clean out my fridge as I'm trying to like add my groceries. This happens in stages. I don't love doing it all in one day. It takes a while. And when I know I'm gonna go grocery shopping the next day or two, I try to clean out my fridge. That way it doesn't take a crazy long time all at once. The next one is very simple, but easily it can determine if things get done that week that I would like to get to. I make lists. So I have a smaller list for like urgent tasks that are ongoing, and then bigger, more time-consuming things on a list, like decluttering areas of my house or researching something that I want to get to or organizing something. And the smaller list that I mentioned is like, send this email, something I need to pick up at the grocery store, that kind of thing. And the next thing, you guys already know, it is the laundry. I have talked about this. And I will continue to talk about this. I'm a broken record, but you guys know that I like to do laundry in smaller loads throughout the week instead of like one big massive load every 1 or 2 weeks. I find if I avoid laundry, or I find when I avoid laundry the most is when the load is like really, really big and it's overwhelming. So we also have extensively decluttered our clothes over the last few years. And so we can't really go more than 4 days without missing something we want to wear, because we don't have weeks and weeks worth of clothes anymore like we used to. And I think maybe this is another reason why laundry is a little bit easier to stay on top of. The next thing is putting away random items on surfaces, because naturally in a home, when it's lived in, there are just things. There are papers and random hair ties and mugs, and I don't even know, on my dressers, on counters, on the floor, whatever. And I have a 2-year-old, so there's that too. Inevitably, there are just barrettes everywhere. So I like to kind of like reset all the surfaces, including the floors. I'll even include my daughter in this. Here we did like a midday bath situation. I don't remember why, but oh, she's getting ready for a nap. That's what we were doing. But I love to include Eden in this because she's not always on board. Like, she's 2, you know, but to teach her that like it's exciting that we get to take care of this home. Like, the Lord gave this to us, and when you leave things all over the place, that is not necessarily taking care of that if you're just going to leave that on the floor where somebody could step on it and wreck it. And so I try to include her in that, and she loves that too. Okay, and then the last 2 things that I'm going to leave you guys with would be organizing my daughter's room and just kind of making sure that it's prepped for the next week. So you can see I'm like putting clothes away, and also just fixing her drawers. When she is clean and her jammies are still clean after she wakes up, we will just like shove them back in the drawer and not fold them, and then the drawers just become very disorganized. So I try to just make sure like the drawers make sense, toys are off the floor. Sorry you guys, like I'm done talking for this day. You can hear it in my voice. And then the last thing would be connecting with my husband over our work schedules. Both of our jobs have days where different things come up and it can be inconsistent. And so it's really important that we connect and make sure what day do you have Eden, and can I see a friend this day, and are you able to do something this day, and making sure that we leave time for rest and family connection time. You know, that way you're just protecting yourself from having a week where you overbooked yourself too much and you are just exhausted, and then a whole nother week starts. So we try to have boundaries and make sure that we do not get ourselves into that situation. So that is all that I have for you guys. I hope that you guys got something helpful from this video. I am thinking that next week we'll do something along the lines of how to prep for a busy next workday. We live in a metro and we both commute and have to take our daughter somewhere on those days. So yeah, just like evening prep, and excited to share that with you guys. But I hope you guys have an amazing week, and I will see you next week.